Hey, what's going on, Freedoms? All right, so uh, in the first 10 seconds, I want to tell you to make sure you get my course, excuse me, not my course, but my PDF, bit.ly/the DM Science, and that's in the link below. So bit.ly/the DM Science form. So that'll teach you how to make some money online. Um, it is not the mental diet. So what I got this from, damn it, the fuck, hold up, wait a minute, Neville Goddard. This mental diet is huge online, well, in business period. Some people call it your mindset, but this is my new phrase for it, your mental diet. Because that's all your mindset is, what you consume, and what you digest, and what you nourish your body with, and also what you release. Based on what you consume. So, your mental diet, what creates your life? It is not going to change your life today, but it can change the direction today. So, like if you're driving a car, your mental diet about, let's say, you having a new car, is not going to change the fact that you have, let's say you have a Honda, and you want an Infinity. Your mental diet is not going to get you an Infinity today, but your mental diet is going to change you seeing you looking in the direction of an Infinity today. So you make it an Infinity car in a month's time, but the direction changed today, not the life. Sometimes this does happen. I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes, according to your mental diet, your life can change today. But usually, I've learned this is the first statement that fucks a lot of people. Fucks up a lot of people. They believe because you changed your mental diet, your life is gonna change today. You feel what I'm saying? And usually, it does not change today. The direction changes today. You must be under constant renewal. If you're biblical, the scripture says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. The only way to change your mental diet is to be under constant renewal, or reminder. Silence is key. The reason why I say silence is key, because if it hasn't happened, you don't want the vibration of stuff you don't want the vibration to be interrupted because you are telling everybody. You get what I'm saying? You're a virgin, meaning you're a first timer. Keep quiet and stay fresh. And what that means is, when you're a virgin, you're innocent. You're innocent. Excuse me. You're innocent. You're naive. So the best thing to do is do your best to get from under. Is to stay fresh, to stay new, to stay innocent, but stay and act like it's still your first time. But the wisest thing you want to do, especially if it's your first time, is to be in counsel of people who have the experience you want. Because the worst thing for you to do as a virgin or as a first timer is to be around people who don't have the experience you want, and you become what they shared with you. Remember your possibilities. That just means to remember your possibility. That just means to remember to dream bigger, and that you can make it happen because it is your first time. Your experience is not somebody else's experience. Um, Take no handouts or beg no one for nothing, for anything, because in a spiritual way, it gives away your power. So, because like for people who or what a better word for this is, um, what a better word for this is uh, have no entitlement, because I learned this watching from myself and um, from myself and watching others. The moment you start, you feel entitled in a negative way, and I don't mean like to something entitled to something that you worked for. I mean entitled just to say, oh, it's mine. Like there's not other people doing what you do. Um, Gives away your power. You feel what I'm saying? The moment you have to say, I need X, Y, and Z to make it happen, and because I don't have X, Y, and Z, I can't make it happen. Or you feel entitled in the sense of saying that you don't need to put in the work like somebody else. You don't need to work 80-hour weeks. You don't need to do any of that. That's a level of entitlement uh, to say, and it puts you in a fantasy that you think that it puts you in a fantasy that's dangerous. Respect yourself and your dream to be a student or be a person who's under constant learning, and be no one's fool. And what that means is when you're under constant learning, and like for instance, I was talking to myself about this ideal that there's three levels of in my opinion of entrepreneurship. There's the newbie, um, the intermediate, just like if you were playing a video game, and and the expert. Um, what I had to learn is you will just keep it basic from these three levels. When you're a newbie entrepreneur, you're trying to trade, you're trying to barter. Um, you might carry a lot of excuses. You don't have cash flow, etc., etc. You're trying to build relationships. You're trying to um, you're trying to build relationships, and I said, what I say here is do your best to be of integrity, because who you are here is who you are here, and who you are here. Um, um, and when you're intermediate, you develop a sense of um, you go through a lot of hell when you don't know nothing. When you go through the hell and you're used to it, you develop a certain level of discernment. Um, Even if you don't have all the relationships you need, you develop capital and other things, but you develop a sense of whether that be emotional or that be mental or that be that's supposed to say mental, but you know what I mean, or financial. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not financial, sometimes it is. Um, but you develop emotional, mental, and and emotional, mental, and financial discernment. You get what I'm saying? That you cannot be played. And when you're an expert, of course, you know all those things, and you develop a level of relationships that you never had before. So when you're a newbie, you're trying to trade, you're trying to barter, you're a student, you don't know nothing. And intermediate is where you're in actually position to teach the newbies, and expert, of course, is teaching all, but and moving on, etc., etc. But when you're an intermediate, it puts you in a position where you can discern who you want to work with and why, based on your personality, etc., etc. So, and this is also, like I said here, your mental diet. Your mental diet is different when you're a newbie, an intermediate, and an expert. And sometimes you gotta know where you are, um, so you can understand your mental diet and what your mental diet has to be. Because sometimes when you don't understand where you are as an entrepreneur, you don't align your mental diet to go to the next level, or be on the level that you are on. You get me? So those are the things that you need to change for your mental diet. Remember what I said? Go to bit.ly um, slash the DM Science Forum, in all caps. The DM, that's THEDMS, DM Science Forum at Gmail, at Science Forum. Bit.ly slash the DM Science Forum.